Hello everyone, welcome to the Aviation Talk Vietnam delivered by Dr. Binh Tran from the Vietnam Aviation Academy. Today we are going to talk about how the technologies impacts to the airlines that reduce their comparative advantage. So, the International Civil Aviation Organization, this is in abbreviation the ICAO, plays a crucial role in addressing aviation's impacts on the environment. Its standards and policies ensure that aviation's environmental impacts in terms of noise and carbon emissions are addressed in a coherent manner and guarantee a high degree of uniformity in the regulatory regimes. ICAO's environmental standards allow the security of technological environment improvements and the creation of a level of regulatory predictability for airlines. However, implementation of ICAO's environmental regulation regime has threatened the airline's business. Airlines oppose the environmental levy, which increases the overall cost of air transport and rapidly transfer this cost to customers through their ticketing pricing. So this has seen as having negative impacts on the airlines, their customers, uh, both domestic and international trade and local economies. So airlines ultimately responded to this regulatory imposition by investing in new, more environmental friendly aircraft to meet the carbon emission standards at several related costs. As a matter of fact, the airline industry has always been at the forefront of technology creation and innovation. So there have always been large numbers of advancements, most of which have recently centered around fuel-efficient engines in order to reduce operating costs. So current aircraft models are especially fuel efficient compared to previous models, affording fuel savings of 18 to 20%, according to aircraft manufacturers. So that's greatly assisting the airlines in reducing costs. Pioneering airlines such as Qatar Airways or Singapore Airlines always purchase newer aircraft and upgrade to newer technologies in order to save operating and maintenance costs. So thanks to its financial strength, so you know that Qatar Airways uses the latest aircraft models for fuel efficiency and to assess its brand recognition of being a clean, green, and environmentally friendly airlines. So this airlines is equipped with the most modern aircraft models such as the A350-1000 in keeping with its commitment to environmental sustainability. And furthermore, Qatar Airways also focuses new aircraft investment in noise reduction and cabin air quality, aimed at minimizing passenger discomfort and fatigue. With these new technologies, new aircraft innovations reduce air quality related symptoms such as dry eyes or dry skin or during long haul flights. Modern aircraft also usually provide the personal in-flight entertainment system instead of commercial screens. So with the majority of passengers being happier when they have access to into personal in-flight entertainment and by possessing the world's latest aircraft models. Qatar Airways is always strong on this point. The second technology top impacting the air travel industry is product distribution, which has been revolutionary for the airlines. By its nature, the airline industry is depending on strong distribution network and was one of the first industries to computerize distribution. Until the 1980s, only travel agencies had direct access to airline seats. That trends when the airline industry was able to take full advantage of the internet. It was then that direct connectivity was made, not just between the travel agencies and the airlines reservation systems, but between the consumer themselves and the airlines reservation systems. This marked a significant advancement for the airline industry. The time of the low-cost carriers had arrived. So taking full advantage of this technological leap measurably lower ticketing costs by bypassing the various intermediaries embedded in the previous product distribution models. So airlines currently utilize the power distribution systems. This is the GDS model, which Amazon also uses. At the time when people in general did not yet have any notion about e-commerce, it was being applied in the aviation industry. It's believed aviation is the first industry to use e-commerce as a distribution system. So beginning in 2000, Asia was determined to employ technologies to their distribution system. The airline established its initial online ticket sales model, even its internet accessibility and penetration in Malaysia was very limited. The areas that the technology covers in general are ticket sales through websites and mobile applications, which empower customers to purchase tickets quickly at times of their own convenience and as early as possible. Nowadays, airline sales and distribute tickets primarily through websites and e-commerce platforms as direct or semi-direct low-cost ticket revenue streams. However, there is another significant aspect to this distribution channel. This is the ancillary revenues. So upselling and the sales of ancillary products have become significantly easier than was previously. Examples include the airlines offering a range of ancillary or related on-demand services such as taxi pickup, in-flight meals, access to hotel bookings or seat numbers upgrade. And all of these are carried out through the application of the technologies applied in the distribution system and greatly assisting the airlines to increase revenues at minimal cost. So the sales organization is also considerably simpler and more aggressive nowadays. A further significant motivation for the low-cost carriers to employ technology for their distribution systems is the large domination of major airlines, which have asserted control over the traditional distribution channels. So major carriers will cease to cooperate with any travel agency which supports other airlines. And for example, under the direct comparative pressure from Vietnam Airlines, Vietjet Air Vietnam would not have become successful if there was no innovative technology applied to its distribution system. When Vietjet Air applied technology for online sales, the proportion of its customers booking online was increased. So there have also been changes to the interactions of customers half with the online technology. The proportion of customers' interaction with the technology has increased 25% to 40% annually, including online tickets purchases and check-in, or buying add-on packages such as in-flight meals, additional luggage allowance, or seat selection. So online distribution systems also aid the low-cost carriers by reducing the cost of commissions to travel agents. Commissions now are currently being paid approximately at 7 to 9%. The technology has a major influence on the airline's profits and hence their growth. So, a third type of technology employed in the aviation industry relates primarily to the airport side. The use of biometric technology for immigration management at large airports, such as in the US or Changi International in Singapore, biometrics and artificial intelligence are replacing elements of the human workforce. A new flying experience happens when the passengers don't have any human interaction during check-in, a process that was previously completely humanized. These passengers can arrive at the check-in area and interact only with the computer technologies, a system which is presently employed by the Singapore Changi Airport. And in the race to enrich the passenger experience, Singapore's Changi Airport continues to invest heavily in boosting overall operational efficiencies and enhancing the passenger's flying experience. New self-service check-in and luggage tagging facilities were introduced for passengers of Singapore Airlines and Silk Air as part of the ongoing fast and seamless travel initiated by the Changi Airport. Changi Airport also stresses the important fact that self-service does not necessarily mean poorer service, nor does it mean lower service standards. This is a vital point for an airport which prides itself on its positive customer service reputation. According to this airport, self-service alleviates the amount of manual processing work done by check-in agents today, freeing them up to provide higher value-added services, just addressing whatever other queries passengers may have pertaining to their travel journeys. The adoption of facial recognition technologies at the self-baggage drop machines, integrated border control lanes, and self-boarding gates allows for security checks to be fully automated. Today, departing passengers are required to verify their identity at 3 locations: luggage checking, border control, and when boarding, on previously performed manually by ground handling staff or immigration officers. By leveraging technology, on clearances through these touch points are expected to be speedier, thereby enhancing operational efficiency while reducing the reliance on manpower and the associated costs. So, imaginative scenarios in the near future can be explained by describing a passenger's travel experience. The passenger can check baggage by themselves, give their biometric information to connect them with their air tickets, then place their luggage on the belt. The passenger can pass through immigration control where they encounter biometric technologies again. Another potential scenario could see the eradication of air tickets together. Even surf in a phone for boarding the aircraft, nothing would be required beyond a passenger's finger or face for scanning. In this scenario, the passengers arrive at the check-in counter. Their fingers is recognized uh, biometrically, and this recognition links to passport validity, the travel class, the baggage allowance. The passengers then proceeds through security and immigration, again with biometric checks. When the passengers board the aircraft, the seat is unlocked using biometric recognition again. So another technology holding significant potential benefits for airport and airlines is the wearable technology. The Japanese Airlines and Spring Airlines at Tokyo Haneda Airport have deployed this publicly. When wearable technologies is integrated seamlessly with mobile services, the passenger experience can be significantly enhanced. For instance, this technology will deliver timely and relevant notifications to passengers concerning their flight status, guiding them in finding or highlighting events or promotions around them. This will give passengers not only an astonishing wow factor, but also the extra personal touch that a mobile application alone cannot deliver. In short, while self-service backdrop and self-tagging are simplifying passengers' processing, the widespread use of biometrics has revolutionized the customer's overall airport experience. So the question is inevitably raised when this technology being introduced. Are we replacing humans with the machines? Robots, in fact, already assist greatly in many areas of the aviation services. So manpower numbers can be significantly reduced through the use of robots to carry out check-in procedures and act as security agents at airports. In reality, the interaction between the ground staff and passengers is approximately 2.5 minutes for a domestic flight and 5 minutes for an international flight. So greater employees' interactions with customers are encouraged, while repetitive manual jobs are consigned to robots, which can work more accurately. The primary reason to favor robots over humans in some key areas because humans tend to make mistakes. It could be in checking travel documents or enter the correct country, recording incorrect baggage data, either the number of items or total weight, not to mention in the myriad of potentially negative issues that may possibly occur at the counter. Therefore, robots can reduce flight safety risk. However, through a machines, though a machine is intelligent to a certain degree, it's still a machine, which requires at least some human input in direction or control. The aim of employing machines and technology is to assist the human to operate more efficiently and more cost effectively in many different ways. Today, humans are living in a new era in which the human capital aspects and technology combine to bring out the best for the organization. More importantly, at the end of the day, for the greatest passengers experience possible. So at present, small airlines in the ASEAN region are not necessarily able to afford all of these technologies that I have mentioned above. In actuality, small airlines do not need to own the software or equipment, but only to pay for what they are able to cover. Contrarily, technology is a commercial advantage for large airlines because it's easier for them to interact with their customers. Yes, these airlines' marketing departments have become smarter in ways of selling additional services. Uh, they tailor their communication approach to customers and undertake big data analysis through the retrieval of customers' information. Despite its being a commercial advantage for large airlines, however, the purchase of a ticket based on a price decision will continue to track customers in their airline selection. Nevertheless, uh, whether these airlines provide high technology or not, the technology does not lead to greater customer loyalty in the airline industry. For instance, if Emirates air tickets are cheaper than those of Qatar Airways, people will continue to fly with Emirates and vice versa. Even though airlines strive to equip themselves with the newest technologies or polish themselves with the beautiful furnishings, for as long as the purchase decision is overwhelmingly based on price. The travelers will ultimately care only about a cheaper ticket to fly from point A to point B. When the aviation industry reshapes itself and the airlines restructures their offerings, it's vitally important the changes are based on price. Then technology will be a differentiating factor and will be useful because the market has become more captive. At the moment, the market is quite homogeneous. For as long as consumer behavior is based on some price decisions, and despite the best efforts of the marketers to play up the importance of technology, customers give a little though to the customer gives little thought to the technologies the airline use to deliver their services to their passengers. So from my presentation, and our research can conclude that the adoption of technology innovations relating to aircraft convenience and comfort, online ticket purchasing, the check-in process, and mobile integration would deliver advantages over non-adopting or slower adopting competitors. So thank you for your listening. Uh, I hope that you have enjoyed the factor about technology from our research. We hope to see you in the next talk about the aviation topics. Thank you and goodbye.